Imagine standing at the edge of your life, looking back at all the choices you've made, the paths you've taken, and the countless moments that have shaped you. What would you say was your greatest achievement? For some, it might be wealth, fame, or recognition. For others, it could be building a family, a career, or leaving behind a legacy. But Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers of the 20th century, believed something different. He said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." It sounds simple, but in reality, it is perhaps the most challenging journey a human being can take, the journey of becoming oneself. Think about it. From childhood, we are told who to be. Parents tell us to be responsible. Teachers tell us to be smart. Society tells us to be successful, and culture tells us to fit in. We are molded, shaped, and influenced constantly. We learn early on what brings approval and what causes rejection. Slowly we create masks of politeness, masks of strength, masks of perfection. These masks become the faces we show the world, but behind them, in the quiet corners of our hearts, often lies someone else, our true self, hidden, waiting, longing to be expressed. Jung believed that many people live their whole lives without ever meeting this true self. They become successful, yes. They build families, careers, and reputations, but deep inside, they feel an emptiness. They feel as if something essential is missing. Because the truth is, success without authenticity is just another mask. And wearing a mask for too long exhausts the soul. So what does it mean to become who you truly are? It means peeling back the layers of conditioning. It means facing the parts of yourself you've denied, ignored, or even feared. Jung called this process individuation, the integration of all the pieces of our personality, light and dark, strong and weak, conscious and unconscious. To become who you truly are, you must first accept that you are more than what the world sees. You are not just your job title, not just a parent, not just a student, not just what others expect. You are a unique constellation of experiences, desires, fears, talents, and dreams. And your true privilege in life is to bring that unique self fully into the world. But here's the catch. This journey is not easy. In fact, it is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Why? Because to discover your true self, you must face your shadow. The shadow is everything within us that we try to hide. Our jealousy, our anger, our insecurities, our unfulfilled desires. Most people run from their shadow. They distract themselves with work, entertainment, or busyness. But Jung believed that facing the shadow is essential, because in the shadow lies not only the parts of ourselves we dislike, but also the hidden potential, the gifts, and the strength we have buried. Imagine a seed buried in the soil. From above, it looks like nothing is happening. But underground, the seed is cracking open. Roots are forming. Life is struggling to break free. That is your shadow. It is uncomfortable to face, but it is where growth begins. Only by confronting the darkness within us do we free the light that lies beneath. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like you were living someone else's life? Like you were following a script written by others? Maybe you studied a subject you didn't love, worked in a job you didn't believe in, or lived according to traditions that never resonated with you. And yet, you stayed. Why? Because the fear of disappointing others felt stronger than the call of your own soul. If you have ever felt this way, you are not alone. Millions of people feel this daily. And yet, the privilege Jung spoke of, The privilege of becoming who you truly are begins the moment you decide to listen to that inner voice, no matter how small, no matter how inconvenient. Becoming yourself is not about rebelling against the world. It is not about rejecting family, culture, or responsibility. Instead, it is about alignment. It is about living in such a way that your outer life reflects your inner truth, that your actions match your values, that your daily choices reflect your authentic desires. Think of the butterfly. For most of its life, it is a caterpillar, crawling, eating, surviving. But deep within the caterpillar, hidden in its cells, is the blueprint of a butterfly. That blueprint is its destiny. When the time comes, the caterpillar retreats into a cocoon, dissolves completely, and emerges transformed. That is what becoming yourself looks like. It may feel like parts of you are breaking down. It may feel uncomfortable, even painful. But on the other side of that transformation lies freedom. Now, some might ask, but how do I know who I truly am? Jung would say, start by listening. Listen to your dreams, for they reveal the whispers of your unconscious. Listen to your emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, for they point to your unspoken needs. Listen to your longings, those quiet desires that never go away no matter how much you ignore them. These are the breadcrumbs leading you back to your true self. And remember this, becoming who you truly are is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong process. You don't suddenly wake up one day fully realized. Instead, you grow into yourself slowly through choices, mistakes, learning, and courage. Every time you speak your truth instead of hiding it, you become more yourself. Every time you pursue what gives you life instead of what pleases others, you become more yourself. Every time you embrace both your strengths and your flaws, you step closer to authenticity. In a world that constantly pressures us to conform, to fit in, to measure up to someone else's standard, choosing to be yourself is an act of bravery. It is revolutionary. Because when you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You inspire them, not by preaching, but by example. You remind them that they too have a privilege waiting, the privilege to live as their true selves. So ask yourself, who am I beneath the masks? Who am I when no one is watching? Who am I when I stop trying to be what others want me to be? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. And as you seek the answers, remember Carl Jung's timeless truth. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So let this not just be a quote you hear once and forget. Let it be an invitation to look within, to face your shadow, to embrace your light, and to step boldly into the person you were always meant to become. Because in the end, no achievement, no possession, no recognition can ever replace the joy of simply being yourself. That is the real privilege, and it is yours to claim. Becoming who you truly are does not mean becoming perfect. It means becoming whole. And wholeness is only possible when you embrace not just your light, but also your darkness. Imagine you are walking through a forest at night with a lantern. The light shows you the path, but the darkness still surrounds you. If you fear it, you will shrink back. But if you dare to walk into it, the lantern of your awareness will reveal treasures hidden in the shadows. That anger you hide, it can become courage. That fear you deny, it can become wisdom. That insecurity you bury, it can become empathy for others. Jung reminds us the shadow you fear is the very place your power is waiting. When you run from it,
you remain divided. But when you accept it, you become whole. So the deepest step is not to ask, how do I become more like others? But instead, what part of myself am I still running from? When you face that part, you unlock the energy, creativity, and strength you need to live as your true self.